Hi, I'm Mr. Dave. Welcome to my old-time rock and roll piano lesson number 2 that covers melody and soloing. I'll show you in this video how to incorporate melody and harmonic runs and soloing into the rhythm that I showed you in video number 1. And I'll show you in this video these different aspects of the song. So I'll show you the introduction. And then I'll show you how to use melody with that rhythm I showed you. So let's give that a go. And then I'll show you some more complex melody and the basis for it. So this. And then I'll go into solo number 1. I'll break that down. And that's and then I'll go into breaking down solo number 2, which was and then I'll do solo number 3. So that's and then I'll do the ending, break it down. As you can see, there's quite a lot of material to cover in this video, so I'll have to move quite quickly. But if I am going a little too fast for your liking, don't forget that you can go to my website and download my MIDI file for a small fee of my old-time rock and roll piano solo and input that MIDI file into MIDI Trail software to generate the 3D virtual piano keyboard that you see in my videos. You can then download and install this software on your PC or Apple devices, and you can use your keyboard to then slow my solo down as slow as you want, even 10% if you so wish of this normal speed that I play it at, and you can zoom in with your keyboard exactly where you want to, left hand, right hand, and you can clearly see the notes exactly how they're played, and the sound of the keys does not change. It does not get distorted. So that's an option you have. Now, to show you how to do all this, to show you how to download the MIDI Trail software and install it and set it up to get that virtual 3D piano, then I have a comprehensive tutorial on my channel, this channel, or on my website that will show you how to do all this. and get you started. And it's a great way to learn. It's probably better than trying to learn sheet music, or even if you know sheet music, it's not going to show you the syncopation and all the nuances of rock and roll music. So, hey, it's a great learning tool. And if you haven't tried it before, it may be worth a punt. Try it and see if it's for you. So that's an option. But let's get on with the lesson. And the first thing I'll do to show you how the melody, harmony, the runs, and the soloing all runs together based on two scales. Okay? The first scale is the G blues scale, and it goes like this. So you can hear that real bluesy feel to it. So, it's G, B flat, C, C sharp, D, F, G. That's it. The other scale that works in conjunction with the G blues scale is the G pentatonic scale. Now, the G pentatonic scale can be found by using the pentatonic scale of the black notes. The black notes basically are a pentatonic scale, believe it or not. So F sharp pentatonic is this. You hit all the black notes up to the next F sharp. And that's the F sharp pentatonic. So if you actually just transpose a half tone from F sharp down to G, then your pentatonic is G, A, B, D, C. So the G pentatonic is basically your root, your second, your third, your fifth, and your sixth. So you can use that scale as a run, and that's what the runs are in this piece. Now, to make it more bluesy, instead of the B of that G pentatonic, flat it to B flat. And that is the run that is used in my piano solo, and also in the original recording. You can hear that run happening in the background of the recording on the keyboard, of course. So let's just show you that. I'll just do it with one finger. So it goes B flat, A, G, and then you go D, E. And you can also go up. So then with the octaves, you just and if you want to go up, it's, and that's all I do in those runs in the solo. So hey, you can learn those, you can practice that. That's the basis for it. Also, the blues scale and the G blues scale and this G pentatonic also incorporates the melody of this song. So when the song starts, just take those old records off the shelf. It's So it's just that B flat and down to A and G. So that's part of that pentatonic scale, but the actual third flatted there to make it more bluesy. So there you go. And of course the melody is kind of combinations of those notes. So, you know, so that's part and parcel. Now, again, you can see all the bits that I play on the solo, and you can slow them down and everything like I mentioned on my MIDI file. But let's play each of these slowly. I'll show you the introduction, which is quite simple. It's really the beginning turnaround of the piece. So it's introducing the piece, and it's going from the G just down to D, and of course D is the turnaround into the so let's just play the introduction and go right into the melody chord notes there, okay? And I'll count it out slowly. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'll play it faster and count it out faster. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is really the melody. It keeps repeating itself. So that's quite simple. And of course you've got the rhythm now and the way you go. And then of course you've got you can do the runs. So here we go. So now, other things that I do in the video, just so you know, and I won't spend a lot of time on it, but I go up to this register. So instead of doing that, I actually go to the dominant seventh, and it's like this. So, and that's those two fingers between your thumb and your pinky, the second and third, you can just go up to the seventh chord, and that just adds a little embellishment there. So it'll be and you can hear that also. I mentioned that in the previous video, the Jimmy Fallon Late Night spoof, and the keyboardist does some of that blues. The dominant seventh he adds in there. So, and what you're doing is, say on the G chord, you're just moving, you know, you go from the root to the fourth, but the dominant seventh is just moving up another actual full tone in your thumb and a half tone in your third. So you end up on the fifth of the chord and the dominant seventh, which is a full tone below the root of the chord. Probably a little bit too much information for you, but hey, you can see on the keyboard on the virtual keyboard what I'm doing. I'll just do it slowly so you can see it. And this one is, so the dominant seventh is a flat in there, and the D is, okay, but that's maybe a little too much, but you can, as you progress, you can add some of those embellishments that can be quite interesting. Now, let me go into the solo, the first solo. Play it slowly. I won't spend a lot of time breaking it down. You can see it on the video, and of course you can always go to the MIDI if you really want to learn this thing. So here we go. So okay, and that the end there, I threw that dominant in there, so that sounds much better that way, I think. So let me play it one more time. So you go from the turnaround into the solo. So it's, so you're doing an octave here. Okay, you can see on that part, I just make it more interesting. One thing to note is that what I did there was I did the inversions of the chords. So when I was doing the G, I was going and then instead of going and that's the, I go from the fourth of G, which is the C chord, and this is the 1, 2, so this is root, first inversion, second inversion. So I go from the second inversion, but I use 1, 2, and 4 on this. So the second inversion of C, and then I just shift to so I go from C to F instead of C to F this way. So let's do it again. Okay, so that's the second inversion of D, and then I go to G, okay, which is the first inversion of the G chord. So instead of going that power chord to the G chord, I do it down here. So you mix that in there, and it gives you a little more room to do something down in this register instead of being up here when you got to be back down here. So you can use it or not, but anyway, you can see how I develop it in the solo, and you can decide what you want to keep, what you want to take out. That's up to you. Depends on your skill level, and as you learn, you may come back and put more complexity into it. That's up to you. Now the second solo, it goes like this, and I'll try to play it slowly. And then into the third solo. So that solo is really just rhythm on the chord changes, and there I'm using the inversions. So in G, I actually and then I go to the C, and this is the second inversion of C, and then to the first inversion of F. And then I go to D, so I go the second inversion of D to the first inversion of G. So I'll do that, try to do that more slowly again, but the glissando is, and then as I showed in my soloing video number 3 on Johnny Be Good, use your thumb and your pinky to do your glissando. It adds a little more harmonics to it, okay? And then you're right there where you have the ending. So now that soloing I did was just the blues scale, okay? I mean, and this is just a grace note of that blues scale, and it fits because the F sharp is part of these other scales. It's the G scale actually has an F sharp in it. So I'll just do that again. And then that's just your G power chord. Actually, a bit like the the Johnny Be Good, you know. But I'm just using it in a different rhythm or sense as part of that solo. So okay, I hope that gives you enough to get you going and building yourself up with this piano solo. And if you like this, well, and it's for you, then please give me some feedback, comments, or hit the like button or subscribe, and I'll get you more solos and get them on the channel, and hopefully you'll improve your rock and roll skills. I'll do some bluesy ones, some rock and roll, maybe more pop rock, and we'll see how the feedback goes, and I can go in different directions. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.